Hello, lovely folks out there. Welcome back to Soul Like Dotty. I'm Alison if we've not met before, and I'm kind of just into a bit of sewing chat, bit of makes, bit of what I'm up to, bit of hacking, that kind of thing. Like pattern hacking, not kind of bank account hacking. Yeah, quite informal, chatty vlog, and if you're a regular, well, it's great to have you back again. So today's vlog is just me coming on to chat about our little sewing retreat that we went on. So I will drop some pictures in as a chat, and I thought I'd tell you about the weekend. So how did it come about? Well, first of all, lovely Tamlin from Sewing on the Town created Sewtoon, and at the Sewtoon Wednesdays, I don't know if it was the first or the second one, there was a lady sat next to me called Lynn, and we chatted on, and she had a overlocker, and I'd just got rid of a similar overlocker that was an absolute nightmare, and she was really struggling to thread it, and I was totally unsupportive. I only told her this yesterday, and was kind of like almost, well, not ignoring her, but I knew that I couldn't really help because it was a bit of a nightmare. She's still got it, and it's absolutely fine. So that was the first time that we met. I can't remember what she was making or I was making or anything, and she lives quite nearby, and we kind of met, at the Wednesday sessions, and then started meeting up for a coffee. And Lynn's friend Jude was coming as well by then, and we kind of clicked. We've got quite a bit in common, I suppose. Our banter's quite similar and stuff. And then in November, there was a Sewtoon trip, if you like. We all kind of travelled individually, but we were there on the same day, you might remember, to the Knitting and Stitching Show in Harrogate, and the three of us went together. And on the way down, I think it was Lynn who said, why don't we kind of do some sort of sewing retreat? And so the idea was born. So I kind of set off looking at cottages, somewhere we could go. We were going to go to the Lake District, and I was a little bit worried about snow and trying to cross over, which is a nightmare because the A66 shuts and stuff like that. It's a bit of a nightmare getting across to the lakes when the weather's really bad. And we were like, will it be like that? Now, the interesting thing is, tonight, the day we've got back, is going to be -5, same tomorrow, and it's forecast for bad weather and snow. So actually, although we've just had it, it might have been a good decision. So we sort of said, we live in North Tyneside area in Newcastle, and we decided to kind of look at Northumberland. So Northumberland's actually really, really close to where I live, like literally 10 minutes away to the Northumberland border. So we went to a place called Ellingham, a village called Ellingham, and there is a place there called Ellingham Hall, which I'd never heard of before. And it's a beautiful hall where they've got a chapel and they do weddings there, and it has all these cottages. As I'm talking, I'm just rambling. I'll drop different pictures in as I tell you the story. So that it was, I picked 3, and we have a little WhatsApp group and sent them off. The biggest decision on where we stayed, there was different criteria. There was 3 of us. We each wanted our own bedrooms because I'm awake all night. I'm a nightmare, and we all wanted our own bathrooms. Jude and I have both had our bathrooms converted so we don't have baths, so we decided we needed an opportunity for a nice soak in the tub. Obviously we do shower, we don't have hygiene issues, but the main criteria was finding something that looked like it had a massive dining table to put all the machines on. So we picked this one, and it's called the Cider Press. That's the one we stayed in if you go off and Google it. And it was absolutely beautiful. So Lynn got there first on Friday, just before me, and we didn't really have a plan for the weekend. Obviously, we were planning to sew. I'd cut quite a few things out. I think we're all a bit over-ambitious about what we were going to make. But actually, on the Friday night, we didn't sew anything at all. We set all the machines up and got everything plugged in, and found the ironing board and the iron and everything that was there, and had some food and a couple of gins. I mean, it's been a nice social weekend. We've had an odd glass of Prosecco and a couple of gins, but it's not been like a boozy weekend. Not that I need to kind of apologise for that, because I don't really drink very often, but it is nice if you want to, and if you don't want to, that's fine too. So yeah, that was Friday evening. We were both really, really tired. Like, I'm not really very hardcore anymore. So I was like, right, I'm going to use all my lovely Christmas bubble bathy stuff. So Friday night was a bit of an early, bubble bath, early night sort of thing. Up we got on Saturday morning, that was when Jude arrived, bright and early, 8:30. But on Friday night when we got there, 2 peacocks in the garden. We were like, oh, well, peacocks all weekend. If you've followed me on Instagram, if you are on Facebook, you'll be sick of the sight of the pictures of peacocks. I think I took more of them than I did of anything else. I mean, it's quite a novelty, isn't it? That your door is here and there's a peacock literally on the other side of it. At one point, because there was an Aga and the big sign saying, don't turn off the Aga, it'll take a day and a half to warm up and you won't be able to cook. The patio door was wedged open with the dining chairs were really, really heavy solid wood on an angle, but we were terrified the peacock would come in, which probably would, because obviously our conversation was riveting. So I did share on my plans what I was going to make. So my previous vlog is called my March plans, and I shared not what I was necessarily going to make at the weekend, but what I was planning to make for March. And I did share on that. I will pop another picture in, the dress that I made on the Saturday. I already had it cut out. In my head, I thought I'd already sewn the bodice together and I just had to quickly put the sleeves in and stuff, but I hadn't actually sewn any of it. So I made that on the Saturday. That should have been it. You should have seen the picture now. That's the Nell Dress by Dressmaker's Closet. I'm not going to hold all the patterns up because I did all of that on the last vlog. So then, what did we do? Well, we went, because there's like 5 minutes down the road there's a village pub, so we thought we'll go out for lunch on Saturday. So we went out, ordered a drink, and then the lady said, oh, we're not serving food till 6 o'clock. Oops. So we just went back, had a sandwich and carried on sewing basically all day and just chilled out on the evening. But Lynn and I did go out for food, and I will drop a picture in. I'm not really a pie person, but oh dear, a steak and ale pie, lovely dark green veg. I'm going to get you salivating. Mange too, broccoli, cabbage, and some nice chunky chips. So that was that night, and back for a bit of social chit chat. So we had quite a long day of sewing, really, probably from about, well, I think we were sewing when Jude arrived, so probably from 8 o'clock. I think we were in our pyjamas till about 11:30, but it was just what I needed. Obviously, we've had a lot of stuff going on as a family over the last few weeks, but actually for myself, I've just been non-stop since I started this new job in January. So actually, I'm so grateful to Carl, because obviously I was like, do I go, do I not go? And he was like, you are absolutely going. And, when I came back, he said, it was tough without you this weekend, but, I know that you needed that time, and boy, did I need that time. I think we all felt the same, like very chilled. So we, got up Sunday and off we set off with the sewing again. We were booked in for Sunday lunch. Oh boy, that was a Sunday lunch and a half. So I had roast beef, and under the roast beef was roasted turnip, roasted carrots, roast potatoes, Yorkshire pudding, very traditional Sunday lunch, but really nice quality, and a big bowl of the same sort of greens, which are, because normally when you go and eat out, it's boiled carrots, peas, cauliflower. I don't mind cauliflower, but I really like roasted cauliflower, roasted broccoli, that kind of thing. Roasted carrot I can eat, but boiled carrot, don't like it. So it's amazing. It's probably the first place in my life I've ever gone for Sunday lunch and liked all of the vegetables that came. I chose garlic mushrooms as a starter. I'm talking food, not son. I don't know, but this is kind of the whole thing of the weekend. Jude had celeriac and apple soup, and Lynn had similar to me, mine was garlic mushrooms on rustic toasted bread, and Lynn was similar but with prawns. And Lynn got lamb for the main course and Judy got pork, so we all got something. It was absolutely beautiful food. I can't remember the name of the pub, but if you need to ask me, just drop me a message and I can find out, because Lynn booked it. Very nice. And then back to sewing. And then obviously this morning we came home. But today's been lovely as well, because I was booked in to get my feet done, and then I've had my fingernails done, and I've had my toenails gelled with this little, don't know what it'll come over, it's like a glittery pink. Because in my head I'm in flip-flops, you see, before I started recording today, I've had a shift around with fabrics. I've brought all my lovely florals down, so they're handy for me. This is a bit of my summer stuff too. There's a bit up there, but all behind here I've shifted all the darker things that I'm definitely not going to use. I've got some denims and stuff up there because I thought before I get started, I feel like I've not been in here for so long. I thought, oh yeah, I want all the pretty things behind me because we're moving into even more pretty things sort of season, aren't we? So what else did I make? I made, and I will drop pictures of this in so you can see it better. So this was the one I talked about, which is the Liberty cotton, crafting cotton, which I got in the sale for £7 a metre. Bargain. I got 4 metres and I do have a little bit left. So this has got the Ava blouse sleeve. And just look, I didn't put the cuff on, I just made an elasticated cuff, but just look at the shape of that. How stunning is that? It's the Indigo bodice and then Indigo skirt. So you've got your normal skirt, ruffle and a rolled hem, overlocked rolled hem on the bottom, which I was showing Jude and Lynn at the weekend because Jude's just got a baby lock as well, and I think Lynn might be getting one soon. Maybe don't tell her I can't get my words out whether I have that. It's just the hair threading or tension. It's just a dream. So obviously one dress took one full day. That dress pretty much took all of yesterday, but I had a couple of quick projects that I shared in my makes vlog, so I thought I'd give you an update on that. So this is another Nell dress which I made a while ago with the longer sleeves, and I decided I wanted to shorten the sleeves. What I did do, and I'm going to be honest, I'm going to put a picture in here, was when I cut them they were almost like that sort of fluted sleeve. If I'd known I was going to quite like it, I'd have left them a little bit longer because obviously I allowed for the cuff, I followed the pattern. So I'll pull this up. They sort of finished here on my, this isn't very good. This, you see, it's not like that on the BBC, is it? They sort of finished here, and I just hate this bit of my arm. But if I'd known, I'd have just maybe made them a little bit longer. So I did take a picture of it. It's not the best quality picture because it was dark and the light in the bedroom was quite orange on the night. And I did a rolled hem around them, which is what's on the bottom of this as well. So it's kind of more fluted because this is a jersey dress, but it looks really nice on it. And a little tip, I don't know if I can reach this. So I've just realised I need to do it on this one. This is the Prim Aqua Glue Marker, which I got in my First for Fabrics Christmas advent calendar. And it's kind of, it's a mess, but it's a solid thing. And the reason I'm saying that is I've just spotted the end of this one is starting to just fray a little bit where it's not quite on the fabric. So I was saying to the girls, I'm going to start using this because it's that colour but it dries clear and soft, where the Gutermann glue that I've got is very good but it dries a little bit crispy. It's probably okay for this actually, but you couldn't sew over it, I don't think. So I'm just going to put a little dab of that on there. So I slept on it. Did I sleep on it? No, I didn't. Later in the day I just thought, oh no, I'm going to put the cuffs on. So I've changed it to the short sleeve. I'll drop a picture of it in now. So that's me with 2 of these all ready for the summer. And the other thing that I'll have to put a picture in because it's downstairs, I've not brought it up yet, that I did get made, which I'd already cut out, was my toile of the Tammy handmade jumper that I can't remember the name of, I do apologise, the slouchy one. It will be in the description box below. And all I need to do with that is just hem the cuff and the bottom round. Like literally, I think that took us about 40 minutes to clip together and sew, put the neckband in. So I've got a couple of different fabrics that I'm going to do a toile in, but I have ordered the knitted fabric, so I'll share that with you soon. So how do I feel about it? Will we do it again? 100%. It was so lovely to just do what we like to do, which is sit and sew together. Just make a cup of coffee when you want. The cottage had, you know, there was loads of stuff there. Bottle of wine on arrival, crisps, popcorn, tea, filter coffee, jam, I can't even remember. There was loads of stuff there when we got there. There were, you know, we did have something we just needed quickly fixing, and they would sorted that out. The handyman came pretty much straight away. No issue at all. Lovely gardens. Yeah, definitely stay there again. But the whole thing of it was just absolute joy. You know, I've done a lot of girly weekends away, I've done a lot of girly holidays away, different kind of holidays, you know, where you go to a city and you're out and you're kind of doing this and that. I don't know if it's just me right now at the point that I'm in my life, but that was just absolutely lovely. So if you've got any friends that saw, just find you an Airbnb somewhere. That's all that you need, something like that. Or I think we use cottages.com. And it doesn't even have to be a weekend, does it? Because if you don't work or if you're retired, you could get a little midweek break and save a little bit of money. We were originally thinking of the lakes because you've got just so Penrith. You've got Boys in, I was going to say Keswick, but it's not Keswick. One of the other towns, sorry. Can't remember the name. Sorry. Boys is like a bit of a, not a department store, it just sells everything. And lots of fabric. And there's also quite a big fabric store just further down the motorway, and there's Jenny Stitches as well, which is not in the lakes but a bit further south that we could have gone to, was Barrow in Furness, I think. But because of Jude's situation, something changed and she wasn't able to stay overnight, so it meant that she was still able to come and participate in all the days and still enjoy that whole experience and just kind of go back home and come back on the morning. Because it was only about 45 minutes away, it meant that was possible. So actually it was all meant to be. So if you are watching and you've got a mate that you want to go somewhere with, get yourself booked up. What can I say? It was lovely. And Lynn was there this morning cutting out a Jackson tee or sweatshirt, I don't know which one she was doing, and a dress for a wedding she's going to soon. And then she said, hey up, I better move on because it started to snow. So yeah, there you go. So I just thought I would share that with you. I hope that was of interest. If you want to ask me about it, pop some questions in the comments, and yeah, let me know what you're up to. And my next vlog will be, I think it's next Monday, and that is my So Frugal vlog for this year. And I'll catch up with you soon, so bye for now. This is my bedroom for the weekend. Looking out over the garden. How nice is this? So this is the other double room that Lynn's in. So it's got one of those big sleigh beds in. I think they're all king size beds, big wardrobe, sofa. Obviously it's dark now. And then Lynn's opted for the shower room, which is lovely. I'll show you Jude's. This is Jude's bathroom, separate shower, lovely deep bath. I think the bath's the same as mine. And then, oh, just turned all the lights off. And then this is the third bedroom. So they're all really big.